Now, Christine O'Donnell fortunately lost. I mean, unfortunately in the sense that Lewis was going to dye his hair red, but fortunately in the sense that logic and reason must have set in. And people decided, hey, the guy who said he was a bearded Marxist when he was a kid, we prefer him over Christine O'Donnell. Here's a little bit of Christine O'Donnell's concession speech, which was, to say bizarre is an understatement.
I cannot thank you enough. We worked hard. We had an incredible victory. Be encouraged. We have won. The Delaware political system will never be the same.
Right. So this is by the way, I know, Lewis, listening to that, you look perplexed. That is a concession speech, even though the first thing she said is she won. I mean, could you imagine? Christine O'Donnell stated during her concession speech that the Delaware political system and the Republican Party will never be the same as a result of her.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, we can only hope she's right, to be frank here, and that neither Delaware voters nor Republicans will ever let another witchcraft-dabbling, Constitution non-understanding, evolution-denying, anti-masturbation candidate like O'Donnell win a primary again. We can only hope that she's right.
Maybe she just said to herself, if I get more than 25% of the vote, I consider that a victory.
You know what it is? This is what I just realized, Lewis. Remember when Christine O'Donnell did an interview with, I don't remember if it was Mark Gaffney or Dan Gaffney, and she said she tied Joe Biden in one or two counties because it was 49-49, even though she got less votes. She must just not understand that when you have less votes, you have lost.
Basic mathematics and statistics.
She must think she has won. That's the only explanation I can imagine. And this is unbelievable.
And she thought that was an acceptance speech? Or?
No. Obviously, we're kidding. But the level of she also mentioned they were going to have plenty of food and that they had the room all night. This came out a few days before the election that during an interview where on WDEL, Christine O'Donnell was actually being asked real interview questions, and she didn't like the way it was going, and she motioned to an aide to kind of come over and intimidate the interviewer. This is amazing. Take a look at this.
You're still, $80 to $100 million in the hole. The years what would you cut?
I'm running for U.S. Senate.
But what would you cut?
I don't have the budget in front of me.
Okay, well that's the
question. And nor should I, because I'm not running for county executive. I'm running for U.S. Senate.
But you're criticizing him on running for county executive.
I want to talk about what matters.
If you're not watching this, that snap you just heard, that was Christine O'Donnell motioning for her aide to come over. And basically, he comes over, and I'll just kind of talk over this. I want to talk about how he's standing looking at the interviewer, and now he's saying things off mic. And then he takes out a pad of paper, and he just starts writing something down, and I don't even know what it is.
Chris Coons, and it's an honest challenge.
So you don't. I just said to you.
Okay, so you don't really have the answer. What you would do differently?
No, I just gave you my answer. Okay. I would not have created Sweetheart Slush Funds. I would
not.
Okay,
and then when he continues trying to get an answer, she kind of slaps her aide and says, "Do something about this."
And I would look.
How would you make us actually economically feasible in 2014?
There she goes.
What?
I'm not running for county council.
Okay. So, attempting to intimidate the interviewer so that no real questions are asked, threatening legal action. Let's all say thank you that Christine O'Donnell has lost. Although, the obvious question is, when will she be Fox News' newest senior constitutional analyst? Because, Lewis, even though she knows nothing about the Constitution, she did study the Constitution in a 10-day course, and she calls herself a constitutional expert. So what better position on Fox News for her than senior constitutional analyst?
And who wouldn't love the publicity?
Midweek Politics is made possible by listeners like you and by Greenfield Savings Bank, building a strong community one account at a time, with neighborhood offices in Greenfield, Amherst, Conway, Shelburne Falls, South Deerfield, and Turners Falls, and online at greenfieldsavings.com. By the Daily Hampshire Gazette and GazetteNet.com, connecting our communities with local news and information. By DIF Design, specializing in custom business websites at DIFdesign.com. Find out more about underwriting Midweek Politics at midweekpolitics.com.